I took Rhodiola for 30 days, and here's exactly what happened. First off, why did I decide to take actually Rhodiola? Well, Rhodiola has a lot of benefits for the brain, especially helping with reducing stress, helping with sleep, a lot of neuroprotective effects, as well as antioxidants, anti-inflammatory. So I thought, maybe this could really help me calm more down, be able to be more relaxed, especially since very high intensity job, because what I do can sometimes be really overwhelming and just a lot with being a father, running a business, as well as, seeing patients day in and day out. So not only did I think this could help with my stress, but also possibly some other improvements such as with my mental health, with sleep and so forth. So I started with 200 milligrams of taking Rhodiola extract. And the very first week for my experience is that I thought possibly maybe I had a little bit less stress, but I really couldn't tell if it really had to do with the Rhodiola extract at all. So it was really hard to kind of pinpoint that. And I always expect this with every supplement that I do take, that the first week, and a lot of you should also keep this in mind, first week, you're not going to notice much of a difference for most supplements. Sometimes not even the first couple of weeks. So by the second week, I decided, you know what, because I wasn't seeing a huge difference possibly in my stress, that I thought it was okay to bump up the dosage to 400 milligrams a day. And I was taking this at night. I think it's really good to take your Rhodiola typically at night, especially if you have a history of maybe more of your stress is happening more at night, typically because Rhodiola does reduce cortisol levels. And that's when you want your cortisol levels to be low. You wouldn't want to be taking Rhodiola necessarily in the morning, unless in the morning you feel like your cortisol levels are too high, or maybe midday your cortisol levels are too high where you feel very agitated and stressed. And that is when I would recommend it. For me, I feel like a lot of my stress kind of comes more till the tail end of the day, where I feel a little bit more burnout, a little bit more stress, and then, dealing with kids and dealing with other responsibilities. That's what I felt like it would be benefiting me the most, especially because I wanted to be using it for helping also with my sleep as well. So within that second week, when I bumped it up to 400 milligrams, I did start noticing a big difference, not only helping with my stress levels, but I did just felt more calm, more at peace overall by bumping it up to 400 milligrams. By the third week, this is when I start seeing even more benefits with Rhodiola, such as helping with my sleep. I felt like not only was I able to fall asleep a lot sooner, but I also felt like I just had better quality sleep. I was able to sleep more throughout the night and just woke up more refreshed. And I think a big part of this is sometimes at night, for me especially, I will ruminate of a lot of things that I need to do the next day. And I felt like by taking the Rhodiola, it kind of just helped me just kind of de-stress more and not having my mind racing constantly, because I feel like that is a big part of what keeps me up at night, and definitely something I see a lot with my patients and clients. And that's why sometimes I will recommend Rhodiola extract, because of helping in that aspect of helping with your sleep. Now, if you're looking for other different supplements that can really help and benefit you as far as improving your focus, improving your mental health, then you should download my focus guide in the description below. By the fourth week, I had to go on a road trip with my kids and my wife. We were going across the country all the way to Colorado. So it was going to be a 23-hour drive with a 4-year-old and a soon to be 6-year-old. And they fight like cats and dogs. And I was actually really worried about this road trip because, again, the stress of just having to be in a small confined car where kids are bickering back and forth, I thought I was just going to not be able to handle it. But I was surprised. Sure, they were still fighting. It was mainly my younger boy that was just constantly asking for multiple things or whining and complaining. And I felt like I was able to handle it a lot better than I typically do when we go on longer road trips. But I felt like it was possibly because of the Rhodiola that I was able to just stay more calm and more at peace. And even when I go on road trips, when I have to stay in someone else's bed or something like that, I also don't tend to get really good quality of sleep. But surprisingly, I actually got amazing sleep while I was on this road trip. My wife, maybe not so much, but I felt like I got really good sleep because it probably had to do a lot with the Rhodiola. And even on the way back, I decided, even though it was past the 30 days, I thought it was benefiting me so much because this was a 2-week long road trip. I decided to continue taking the Rhodiola because I thought it was really helping me with the sleep, helping me just be more calm and peaceful mind on the road with my kids. And sure enough, even on the road trip back, I felt like it was fine. And I am still continuing taking the Rhodiola because I think it's really actually benefiting me. I mean, I truly do believe that Rhodiola really did make a big enough impact for my own health, and that's why I continue to do it. But it's something that, it isn't always for everybody, because what Rhodiola does, like I mentioned before, it does reduce cortisol levels. And if your cortisol levels are already low to begin with, maybe it might not be the best option. It might actually give you the opposite effects. So you got to be careful with these kind of things. This is why it's very critical. But there are so many benefits to Rhodiola that really benefit our brain. And so if you really want to learn all the benefits that Rhodiola can do to transform your brain's health, then watch this video next, and I'll see you in that video.